it's Gina from Orchid and Opal Jewelry and Beads, and I'd like to start a new series and see how it goes. I'm going to call it Technique of the Week. And so I'm thinking that maybe once a week, it may not be every week, but we'll see. But I'll film while I'm making something, and it will be kind of like partially a tutorial, partially just bead along with me. You'll maybe learn a new technique or way of doing things, a new stitch, maybe learn about a new tool that I'm using. And this will be geared more towards beginner beaders or beaders who maybe are trying to, learn something different. So I'm not an expert, I don't claim to be, but I do have a lot of beading experience, and I think this is something that a lot of people can get something out of in different ways. So let me know what you think at the end of the video, and if nothing else, we can at least make a project together, and I think it'll be fun. That's what it's all about, just having fun. So, what I thought I'd do today is make a necklace, including the technique that I used in this necklace that I shared with you. I'm just trying to straighten it out. In a recent finished jewelry update. And a lot of you said that you wanted to learn more about this wire wrapping technique where I wrap the beads and created these little links to link these beads together. So I was in the process of getting started to make another necklace, and I thought, well, I might as well just film what I'm doing and we can talk about it as I go. So let's go ahead and get started. This is also going to show you kind of the process that I go through when I'm making something and how I lay things out. So just stick around with me and we'll have some fun making a new creation. So these beads right here, I shared yesterday a bead haul from Beadbox Bargains, that website, and they sent me these lovely cherry quartz beads. In fact, they sent me a really long strand, and I already made 2 necklaces with the rest of the cherry quartz, and I have these 5 beads plus 2 more remaining that I can make another pair of earrings with. But anyway, I'd like to use that same wire wrapping technique, and I'm just trying to lay out my beads to figure out what else I want to go with them. And I was looking through my stash, and I had seen these lovely crystal beads that came from the latest bargain bead box subscription, and I have 4 of them. So I like how they fit in between the 5 cherry quartz. And then I had some of these nice crystal cubes in the amethyst, I'm sorry, not amethyst, like an amber color. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's see. But I think I want to save one for the very end of the necklace. I like to attach one little bead to the end of the chain to finish it off. So let me see how I can fit these together. I'm just gonna see how I like the layout. Okay. Yeah, so I like this right here. I think this is the layout I want to go with. And so what I'm thinking is I want to do the wrapped wire link technique on the larger beads, so the cherry quartz and these crystals. And then the rest of the necklace is going to be chain. So let's get started by wire wrapping our large beads, and then we can put it all together. So the first step is to get the color wire you want and the correct gauge. So I'm using the artistic wire in the gold color, and it's a 20 gauge, which is nice because it does have some flexibility, but it's also still sturdy enough that it'll hold its shape. So I'm not going to go into all the different types of wire and gauges. That'll be for another time. But for now, this is a good gauge for us to use for this project. So I'm going to kind of see how much I want to cut. And I'm thinking I want to do about this length. I'm going to go with about the same length on either side that this bead is, to give me plenty. And what we're doing first is we're creating just a regular link, and then we're going to go back and do a little wire wrap over it. So we're doing this in two parts. So first I'm going to clip off a little piece of wire, and I'm going to put it through my bead. And I have a great tool here. If you don't have it, don't worry. You know, you can just make your loops with a round nose set of pliers. But this is called the 3mm looper tool, and I will put a link to it down below. You can find them on Amazon, you can find them at a lot of craft stores, but I love it because it makes the loops completely uniform. So I don't have to worry about them being different sizes or misshapen, but you just put your piece of wire through there, and I'll do like this so I don't waste too much. And then just wrap it around. See, it makes a cool loop just like that. So here's the first loop right here, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to hold the bead down. I'm going to put my wire through this hole so I can slide the looper down all the way to the bead. And then again, I'm just completing my loop. Alright, I'm just going to tighten that up a little bit. And I'm going to take a couple pair of pliers and just get my loops so that they're on the same side. Just like that. Okay, so we have our first bead link made, and now we want to add that decorative little wrap look like we have on these beads here. So we're going to wrap another piece of wire around the base of the loop, around the bead, and then around the other loop on the other side. So it's kind of one of those things where you just have to play with it and see how much wire you need. I'm going to eyeball it and go with about this amount for this size bead. And I'm putting my thumb on it in the center. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this top portion around. And I got it started. I'm going to leave it at that for now. And then I'm going to go to my other side and start wrapping it around this way. Okay, so you can see how we got our wrap started. And then you can take a pair of pliers, whichever ones you want to use, and you can use that to help you complete the wrapping around of your wire. I'm just going to give it a little pinch there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, don't worry. Okay, so we have our first link completed with our nice little wrap. I really like it. So cute. So we'll set that back down on our board where we're going to have that. I'm not going to wrap these little cubes, but I will make them into links. But let's continue on with our wrapping. Let's wrap this one and see how that goes. So first we want to make the loops on either side. So I'm gonna do about this much for this particular bead. And take my looper tool. I have my first loop made. Just gonna straighten it out a little bit. Wasn't sure how much I would use this tool, but now I use it all the time. And I have the 3mm and I have a really small one that is a 1.5mm, and I still would like to get a 2.25mm. So you can see, because I even want to get another size, how much I actually do use it. And I would highly recommend it if you do a lot of beading and you know, want to work more with wire eventually. Put that on your list of things to get. Okay, and I'm going to create my loop on the other side. Just like that. So we have our loop made, and now we're going to wrap it. So again, I'm just going to eyeball this, and I think I want to get about this much. Okay, and I'm going to hold it with my thumb, just like this in the center, while I go around the bead. And start wrapping. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Just like that. And I'm going to use my pliers to help me finish the wrap. And just try to tuck in your ends as best as you can. Okay. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just do the best you can. And I promise you nobody's going to be looking that closely. And also, sometimes the tiny differences in your wire wrapping makes it look more unique. Okay. So there we have 2 of our loops done. And I'm just going to add loops to either end of one of these cubes. Just like that. Okay. Just gonna pinch that a little bit more. Get these to be straight. right. So this is what we're going to do for the rest of these beads, and then I'll show you how I put everything together and add the chain and finish the piece. Okay guys, I'm almost done wire wrapping. I just have a few more to go that we can do together, and I just wanted to mention that I do plan on joining these links with little jump rings. So if I weren't, we would want to join these together prior to putting this external wrap on the beads. But since I'm just going to be joining them with jump rings, I just left them separate. So just something maybe to keep in mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish wrapping these and adding my loops and whatnot. So now that we have our links all wrapped and ready to go, we can connect them with some jump rings. Okay, I have some jump rings down here, and we'll just get started. I like to use 2 pair of pliers to open these up, and you don't open them up by pulling them apart. You actually just bend them to either side. That way, when you go to close the jump ring, it's going to be much more secure. So I'm going to start by adding my little square link, and I'm going to link that to my cherry quartz link. And I'm going to take my other pair of pliers, and again I'm just going to close the jump ring like this by twisting them back together. Okay, so we have our first section, and then next we want to connect our cherry quartz to our amber colored crystal. So I'm going to add my cherry quartz there, and then add my crystal, and then I'm going to close the jump ring with my other set of pliers just like that. So you can see that it's starting to take shape. Okay, then we do the same thing. We pick up another jump ring, just twist it apart just a little bit, and we're attaching our amber to another cherry quartz, and then twist it closed. And then cherry quartz to square crystal. And this is why it's nice to have everything laid out on one of these bead boards, because then you can make sure you keep track of, you know, what bead you need to put on next. You don't get confused, pick up the wrong thing accidentally, hopefully. See how it's looking. I really like that. It's coming together nice. Okay, let's keep going. nice once you have the beads wire wrapped. Things move along pretty quickly. So all you have to do is put it together. If you don't drop things a bunch of times, like I do. Goodness gracious. We're on our last bead. There we go. So I'm going to lay it back out and see kind of what length we're at right now. Okay, so we're about at 16 inches, which is pretty good. And I'm just going to hold it up to my neck and see what I think. And I think I want to make this necklace to be about 20 inches. So we're going to add on about 2 inches of chain on either side. Okay, so I cut about 4 inches of chain, and we're going to go ahead and attach that to our necklace. And to get started on that, we want to add a couple of jump rings. So we're going to add one jump ring on this end, and then go ahead and attach the chain and close the jump ring back. Like that. And then I'm going to attach another jump ring on the other side. Just like that. Okay, so you can see that we still need to add our clasp, and I'm gonna kind of get the halfway mark by holding these two sides together like that, and then just pulling my wire cutters up to the center and clipping. Okay, so on one side I'm going to use a lobster claw clasp. On one side we'll do a jump ring, and on the other we will do a lobster claw. And I'm going to get my lobster claw. Okay, so I'm going to open this jump ring. I'm going to actually put the lobster claw on a jump ring as well. I'm going to feed the jump ring through one end of the chain and then the lobster claw. And then I'm going to close the jump ring. Okay, so we have that end complete. And then on this end, I'm going to attach a jump ring. I'm not going to close it yet because we're going to attach an extender chain. So I had purchased some of these pre-cut extender chains off of eBay. They're pretty inexpensive. They're just like a gold-plated brass. And remember, this is our little end piece that we made that was going to be an embellishment for our extender chain. So I'm just going to open this link back up a little bit so that I can put it on the end of the chain. Then I'm going to close it back. Just like that. There we go. And I'm gonna just attach the extender and the other end of our chain together with the jump ring and close it. And there we have it. So there's the end. Here are the ends of the necklace. I'm gonna go ahead and clip it together. And let you guys see how that looks. And lay it back down on the beadboard. I think it is super cute. So you can see the end. There we go. Okay, so like I said, you know, this was more of a, hey, let's bead together, let's talk through a little bit about what I'm doing. It's not really a full-blown tutorial where I'm giving you the blow-by-blow on every single specific thing. You know, this is more of a general idea for you guys on what you can do with some of your beads. Maybe you have beads that are similar sizes like this, or you're wondering, how do I wire wrap the links like this? How do I put it all together? That's more of what this video is for. And I hope that's helpful to you. It was a lot of fun. I know for me, I love to, when I'm beading, I love to watch other videos as well and, you know, maybe bead along with other people. So if nothing else, I think this is a fun way to do that while maybe getting some new ideas at the very least. So as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave me a comment, or if you you know, like these videos, you want to see more videos like this, I'm happy to do them and continue the series, so let me know. And I hope to see you soon on my next video. Bye, guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I would also love for you to follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and Etsy, Orchid and Opal Jewelry. Thanks for watching!